Good morning, dear students. I'm Miss Tania. Today we continue with our language class. Welcome back. Today it's really important that you have with you right now a pen or a pencil and your notebook or your folder, okay? Please go for it. We're going to use it a lot today. So make sure you have it with you right now, okay? I can wait here, but also you can pause the video if you need more time. Got it? Okay, let's continue. Well, let's start with a little reading. To start, I want you to watch this picture here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pictures. What are we going to do with that information? Well, here is the instruction. Match the pictures to the comments from an internet forum. Okay? So because we're going to read some internet forums, we're not going to find names like Tania Poveda, for example. We're going to find nicknames like Cat. Cat probably is a short name for Catherine. Maybe, we don't know. And here, as you can see, there is a space that you're supposed to match one of these pictures on the space. So pay attention to the pictures, remember them, and we are going to read. Because I need some help for reading, since I'm speaking a lot, I ask 2 volunteers to read for me. So listen carefully, follow with your eyes, and match the picture with the reading. This is letter A.
I'm having a brilliant time at uni at the moment. The only problem is that I'm not studying a typical subject like engineering or business studies. I'm doing baking technology management. Some people think that all I do is bake bread and cakes, but there is a lot more to it than that. It's true that on Wednesdays and Fridays we always do practical assignments, but on the other days we do essays and exam preparations like everybody else. There's another thing that drives me mad. People are forever asking me to make them their favorite cake.
Okay, did you pay attention? So which picture do you think we can put here? This one? This one? Okay, you tell me. Let's continue with the second reading. Let's listen this one, B. I want to use this light now. Okay, here. Letter B.
My first degree course wasn't very unusual. I did sociology, but now I'm in the middle of a master's course entitled The Beatles, Popular Music and Society. When I tell people, usually they'll start singing an old Beatles tune. Then they'll ask me why I'm wasting my time studying pop music. I don't see why they think it's okay to study classical music or literature, but not the music and words of a group that changed the modern world. Anyway, what somebody studies is always a very personal choice.
Okay, so apparently we're talking about music. Try to remember the picture we can paste here. Let's listen again, my first volunteer, reading letter C.
I'm doing a degree that's relatively new, digital and social media. People think that I spend all day on social media networks. Of course I enjoy using social media, but the degree goes into the whole area in great depth. We even study things like the philosophical and ethical implications of social media. But for me, the best thing about the course is that it's very hands-on. For example, we get 12 weeks of work experience in a digital agency. Maybe that's why 91% of students who study this course find a job as soon as they graduate.
Okay, so apparently social media. Which picture? I'm sure you know the answer by now. Okay, let's continue with Mickey, letter D. Listen carefully, follow with your eyes the reading.
My first degree course was in Berlin.
Oops.
You guys have it easy. People never stop asking me where my helmet is when I tell them that I'm doing biking studies. I suppose that it does seem a strange thing to study, but I've always been fascinated by the Vikings. That's why I decided to specialize. People usually think that because it's so specialized, there isn't much to do. It's just the opposite. We study Scandinavian languages and learn about contemporary Danish and Icelandic culture. Undergraduates spend their third year in a Scandinavian university, which I'm looking forward to. And no, we don't need to wear biking helmets when we are there.
Okay, so that was letter D, Mikey. We have some keywords here that we can connect with the pictures. And finally, we're going to read letter E, cooks. Let's see what he or she says. Remember, follow with your eyes.
People are usually really jealous when I tell them that I'm studying surf science and technology. It's only a 2-year course, but we do a whole variety of subjects, including the history of surfing, sports psychology, and practical work creating a dynamic surfboard. What I really like about the course are the other students. We all share the same passion for surfing, so it means that we all get on really well and work together as a team.
Okay, so with this we finished the reading, and now I'm coming back to the pictures so you can remember and connect them. So we have this picture here that says social network. So who was talking about social network? We have this cake here. We have the ocean and surfing boards. We have the Beatles talking about music. And we have a Viking wearing a famous Viking helmet. Okay, so we have cat, letter A. Probably Jasmine, letter B. Brad, letter C. Mikey, letter D. And Cooks, letter E. You have your answers? I'm sure you do. There it is. So we're going to listen again and make sure that we have the right answers. So right now it's only listening. We're going to listen the answer for letter A. Listen carefully and make sure that I have the correct answers and you too. Maybe I made a mistake and maybe these are not the answers. So let me help. Help me to check the answers. This is letter A.
I'm having a brilliant time at uni at the moment. The only problem is that I'm not studying a typical subject like engineering or business studies. I'm doing baking technology management. Some people think that all I do is bake bread and cakes, but there's a lot more to it than that. It's true that on Wednesdays and Fridays we always do practical assignments, but on the other days we do essays and exam preparations like everybody else. There's another thing that drives me mad. People are forever asking me to make them their favorite cake.
There you are. That was letter A. So was that correct or not? Yes, that was correct. Let's continue with letter B. Here on the left, letter B. Let's listen carefully and make sure we had the right answer.
My first degree course wasn't very unusual. I did sociology, but now I'm in the middle of a master's course entitled The Beatles, Popular Music and Society. When I tell people, usually they'll start singing an old Beatles tune. Then they'll ask me why I'm wasting my time studying pop music. I don't see why they think it's okay to study classical music or literature, but not the music and words of a group that changed the modern world. Anyway, what somebody studies is always a very personal choice. My first
Okay, so was she talking about the Beatles? Yeah, right. She's talking about music and these famous singers, this famous band from England. Let's listen letter C. Let's listen one more time and make sure that if this person is talking about social networks or not.
I'm doing a degree that's relatively new, digital and social media. People think that I spend all day on social media networks. Of course I enjoy using social media, but the degree goes into the whole area in great depth. We even study things like the philosophical and ethical implications of social media. But for me, the best thing about the course is that it's very hands-on. For example, we get 12 weeks of work experience in a digital agency. Maybe that's why 91% of students who study this course find a job as soon as they graduate. I'm doing
Okay, so that was letter C. Talking about social network. Let's listen one more time. Letter D. Is she talking about Vikings or not?
You guys have it easy. People never stop asking me where my helmet is when I tell them that I'm doing Viking studies. I suppose that it does seem a strange thing to study, but I've always been fascinated by the Vikings. That's why I decided to specialize. People usually think that because it's so specialized, there isn't much to do. It's just the opposite. We study Scandinavian languages and learn about contemporary Danish and Icelandic culture. Undergraduates spend their third year in a Scandinavian university, which I'm looking forward to. And no, we don't need to wear Viking helmets when we are there.
Okay, so the last part is talking about the helmet. This is a famous Viking helmet. And well, obviously, letter E, we already know the answer, but let's listen one more time and make sure that we understand the reading, or in this case, the listening.
People are usually really jealous when I tell them that I'm studying surf science and technology. It's only a 2-year course, but we do a whole variety of subjects, including the history of surfing, sports psychology, and practical work creating a dynamic surfboard. What I really like about the course are the other students. We all share the same passion for surfing, so it means that we all get on really well and work together as a team.
Okay, so right now we practice a little bit of reading and listening, and I'm really happy that you did a wonderful job connecting the pictures with the reading. Well, on this part, do you see this notebook? I hope you have your notebook with you. Right now, I want you to take your pen or pencil and write numbers from 1 to 6, like here in the picture. So come on, do it. Take a few seconds to do it. You only need to write number 1 and a line, number 2, line, 3, line, 4, line, 5, line, and 6, line. That's it. You are working on your notebook right now, or folder, whatever you have. Are you ready? Okay, let's continue. Well, remember that the reading was about people using networks or people in a forum, right? So we have cat, probably Jasmine 95, Brad, Mikey's, and Cook's. So try to remember the reading and connect these options with the sentences from 1 to 6. So write down your answers. And you're going to tell me like, okay, you have 5 people, but 6 sentences, right? Okay, no problem. You are going to use one twice. Do you want me to tell you which one? Maybe Cat, maybe Jasmine, maybe Brad, maybe Mikey's or Cook's. Okay, so you are going to repeat Brad. Brad is going to be twice. Okay, that's my help. If you need to read again, you can pause the video and go back and read it. Right now, because of time, I'm not going to do that, but you probably remembered most of the information. So according to the reading, what do you think is number 1? Is excited about going to a particular place for their course. Which person is confident about their future thanks to their course? Which person thinks it's valid to study modern culture as older culture? 4. Which person believes that people think their subject is all practice and no theory? 5. Which person thinks other people would like to study their course? And 6. Which person clearly prefers the practical side of their course? I think I can come back a little and check on the names very fast. So we have cat. I think the picture here was the cake. Cat, cake. Okay, that's a connection. Here on this reading, we had the Beatles picture. This is Jasmine. Then we have the social network. It was Brad. The picture of the social network. Then we have Mikey's talking about Vikings. Mikey's, Vikings. And Cook's was talking about surf. The picture here was the ocean and the surfing boards. Okay. So you had this on your notebook, and here you have the questions. Okay? Are you ready to check the answers, or you need some more time? Let's check the answers. There you have. So it's excited about going to a particular place? Mikey's. He was talking about the Vikings. Is confident about their future thanks to their course? Brad. Think it's as valid to study modern culture as older culture? Jasmine. Believes that people think their subject is all practice and not theory? Kat. Thinks other people would like to study their course? Cooks, surfing. Who wouldn't like to study that? And clearly prefers the practical side of their course? Brad. So congratulations. I'm pretty sure you did it right. Well, let's check a little bit of grammar right now. Just a little bit. So present perfect and, present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. We are going to check more about this next class, but today is like just a little review. And we have here some sentences and explanations. We had an activity like this morning. So you know what to do. We're going to match with lines. Connect the sentence we have on the left with the explanation we have on the right. So on the left it says, we've been here for 4 weeks. I've met lots of interesting people. I've just realized something. I've made a timetable. It's on my wall. And then we have the explanations on the right. An action which started in the past and continues in the present. An action that happened at an unspecified moment in the past. A past action which has a result in the present. And finally, an action which finished very recently. Okay, let's see the answers. There you are. So we've been here for 4 weeks, an action which started in the past and continues in the present. We had a video about this. I think it was last week. I'm going to paste the link here so you can check that video too. I've met lots of interesting people. An action that happened at an unspecified moment in the past. Okay, yes. I've just realized something, an action which finished very recently. And here we have the word just. Just is something that, like here it says, something that finished very recently, like 2 minutes ago, like only this morning or only yesterday, something that happened that just happened. That's why it says an action which finished very recently. And finally, I've made a timetable. It's on my wall. A past action which has a result in the present. I've made a timetable that was in the past. It's on my wall. That's a result in the present. Okay? That was like a little review of grammar. Let's continue. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to copy this because it's like a lot and we don't have too much time right now. But let's read. Which tense gives more importance to? And I want you to read this again. It says gives more importance. So it's important in both cases, but in which tense is more important? So the completion and results of an action. Present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. The process and duration of an action. Here or here. How many times an action happens? Here or here. An action that is complete or has finished recently. We just saw it here. So here or here, what do you think? Let's check. There you are. So for present perfect simple, we have 2 answers. Pay attention, 2 answers. Here, the completion and results of an action, and how many times an action happens. And for present perfect continuous, we have the process and duration of an action, and an action that is complete or has finished recently. It's not important that you memorize this. I'm telling you, you are not going to use it in real life, like, oh, you are going to recognize a sentence and then classify like this, and then you will know the tense. No, but this is just an introduction, so we can understand a little bit better now. Okay, again, let's work in your notebook one more time. Number from 1 to 10, and then draw 10 lines. This is going to take you 10 seconds, okay? 1 line, 2 line, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So do that right now. I'm waiting. Come on. Take your pen, take your pencil. This is like a real life class. It's recorded, but actually we're working together. And I trust you are working with me. Okay, so don't read this yet. Let's go to the right. You see this picture, these two friends? Okay, they are having a conversation, but the exercise is not about the picture. Actually, it's about these answers here. Here, you have 10 possible answers. 10 possible answers for these sentences on the left. So if you pay attention to the main verbs, like here, failing is the main verb. So if you pay attention to the main verb, it's kind of easy to identify the answer. So read the sentence. It says rewrite, but we're not going to rewrite right now. We're going to write the answers in our 10 lines, those we just made recently. So number 1, pay attention. These are possible answers. Number 1, she's been failing 6 exams. What's the answer? Number 2, I've lived here for 2012. What's the answer? Oh, by the way, in the instructions, it says rewrite the sentences using the correct tense and correct the words in bold. In bold. In bold means black, like blacker. So in this case, 4. Okay? 3. We've been to that city in 2008. Identify the main verb, connect, and correct. I've done this assignment for 2 weeks, but I haven't finished it yet. My friend has been having an accident. Correct answer here on the right in blue letters. 6, that artist has been painting more than 100 paintings. 7, they've been revising for that exam since 5 hours. Replace this. Oh no, my keys and my wallet, I lost them. 9, I haven't been doing this exercise yet. And 10, I've waited here for a bus for 20 minutes. Any idea? Let's see. There you are. So if you wrote this, let's check. Number 1, she's failed. 2, since. 3, we went. It's in a specific time. 4, I've been doing. 5, has had. 6, has painted. 7, 4. 8, I've lost. 9, haven't done. Haven't, the contraction of have not. Haven't done. And 10, I've been waiting. Okay? You did it? Show me later, okay? Okay. More work in your notebook. I told you that today we're going to work a lot in the folder or on the notebook. But this one is really easy. So it's a square here on the left and a square on the right. The first one says do. The second one says make. So make sure you are copying this on your folder or on your notebook. Okay? One square left, one square on the right. Write this, do, and make. And what are we going to do? We're going to classify these words here. So do you use do with do a cake, do a course, do a decision, do an assignment? Or we use make a cake, make a course, make a decision, make an assignment. So here is the instruction. Look at these words. Do they usually go with do or with make? So we have list number 1 here and list number 2 here. Let's classify. Sometimes we can identify because we use them and it sounds like really good. So, for example, what sounds better? Do a cake or make a cake? Make, right? Okay, I'm helping you with this one. Make a cake. Because it's something that you create. When you create something with your hands, when you produce something, you say make. Do a course or make a course? What sounds better? Do a decision or make a decision? Do an assignment or make an assignment? Do an exam or make an exam? Do a noise or make a noise? Do chores or make chores? Do friends or make friends? Do homework or make homework? Do dinner or make dinner? Do the shopping or make the shopping? Do the washing or make the washing? Do well or make well? You got it? Okay, let's see. There you are. So we say, and repeat after me, okay? Because if you repeat and you listen to yourself, you can remember this information later, okay? So don't be ashamed, listen to me and repeat. Do a course. Good. Do an assignment. Do an exam. Do chores. Do homework. Do the shopping. Do the washing. Do well. Okay, let's continue with make. Listen and repeat after me. Don't be ashamed, it's okay. I know it sounds weird because you are by yourself talking to the computer. I know I'm doing that exactly the same right now. Okay, so repeat after me. Make a cake. Make a decision. Make a noise. Make friends. Make the dinner. Okay, good job. Well, this is pretty much the same like number and line. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line. I just did it in a different way. So it's not going to be boring like the first ones. Because we're going to do other exercise. Do exercise or make exercise? How do you say, huh? Okay, yes, we're going to do more exercises. So make sure that you have 14 numbers and 14 lines. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, etc., 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 until you finish with 14. Okay? And right now, what we're going to do is to classify or to write the correct answer according to do or make. And here we are. So we have this reading, but Something different about that, it's a little bit complex. A little bit. It's that complete the text with the correct form of do or make. When it says the correct form, it means that maybe you will have to change. And maybe you are not going to say make, but maybe you say made in past. Okay? Same for do. But I'm not going to tell you which ones, okay? I can't help you with everything. And I know that you are going to do it really good. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to read, and you write on your notebook, because you have numbers and lines from 1 to 14, and you only write down your answer. So like that, you are not going to forget it. Are you ready? Do you have your pencil and your pen with you? Did you finish with numbers from 1 to 14 and the lines? Okay, good. Let's continue. Last year, at good university, my brother and I offered to study electronic engineering there. The decision to accept their offer. He has to, a lot of work, but his tutors say that he, very well at the moment, and that he, a lot of progress. He has to, a lot of theoretical exercises, but he also has to, practical assignments. Okay, how you did it? You're doing good? Okay, let's continue with the second part. Right now, for example, they, a simple computer from all parts. The only problem is that my brother is becoming unhealthy because he never has time to sports, and he always eats out because he doesn't have time to the shopping or lunch or dinner. My mom says he needs to afford to those simple chores. But I understand that it's hard. There isn't time to everything. To do everything or to make everything? What do you think? I'm curious about this one, by the way. Are you ready for the answers? Remember that you copy these numbers from 1 to 14 and lines for the answers. Let's see. Ta-ta-ta-tan. There you are. Number 1, made. Number 2, made. 3, do. 4 is doing. 5 is making. 6, do. 7, do. 8 are making. 9, do. 10, do. 11, make. 12, make. 13, do. And 14, do. Do everything. So do everything you need to practice English. That's my advice tonight. And guess what? We just finished. I hope that you copy the information, that you enjoy the class. Thank you very much for your attendance, and see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.